Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Buffalo Bills are hiring fans to shovel snow before its game against the Steelers. After the Buffalo Bills playoff game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers was postponed due to severely cold weather, the team announced it is looking for people to shovel snow at its stadium. The game was moved from Sunday to Monday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time in Buffalo. New York Governor Kathy Hochul authorized a temporary travel ban in Erie County, where Buffalo is situated. But an exception is being made for people on their way to shovel snow at Highmark Stadium. The team is offering people $20 an hour and complimentary beverages and breakfast. The Buffalo area is under winter storm advisories as late as Thursday and, in some places, was expecting up to 3 inches of snowfall per hour on Sunday. Monday's forecast calls for a low temperature of 14 degrees, wind chills as low as -5 degrees and snowfall of up to half an inch, according to the National Weather Service. Former NFL QB thinks Mike Tomlin is why Steelers will keep game close against Bills. Mike Tomlin has consistently overachieved with the way he's been able to, throughout his entire career in Pittsburgh, build up rosters, find ways of getting them to win games. He's a phenomenal coach, and he's why they keep this one close. It's gonna be Mike Tomlin, the game plan those guys put together and execute. There's little doubt the Steelers have overachieved at times under Tomlin, but they've also underachieved and lost games they shouldn't during his tenure. While both things can be true, given that the Steelers have more time to prepare and put a game plan together for this one with the game getting delayed, that may benefit Tomlin and the Steelers. While the weather clearing up will mean Bills QB Josh Allen can impact the game more than he would if the game was played today, Tomlin and Pittsburgh's coaching staff will have more time to figure out what they want to do to defend him and move the ball against the Buffalo defense. Earlier this week, Steven Ruiz wrote that Allen, who has 18 interceptions this season, can't fall into Tomlin's trap if Buffalo is going to win. Pittsburgh's defense has really stepped up in the last few weeks, but not having OLBTJ Watt is going to hurt Pittsburgh's chances. Even still, the team still has good pass rush depth with Marcus Golden and Nick Herbig taking on a bigger role, and Pittsburgh's secondary will get a boost with the return of Minkah Fitzpatrick and Damontae Kazee. The key to the game for Pittsburgh is going to be stopping Allen and Buffalo's defense, and that's where Tomlin can help impact the game. Offensively, the Steelers are going to need Mason Rudolph to keep up his performance from the last 3 weeks and continue their success on the ground, particularly with Najee Harris, who ran for over 100 yards in each of the last 2 games. The execution on the field is going to obviously be the most important thing, but if Tomlin can outcoach Sean McDermott, the Steelers just might have a chance to pull off the upset in Buffalo. Would the Steelers consider pursuing Giants RB Saquon Barkley in free agency? Our Steelers colleague recently wrote an article weighing the possibility of New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley potentially joining the Steelers as a free agent if the Giants cannot reach a long-term deal with the running back. But wait a minute. This has him debating whether it makes sense for the Steelers to potentially pursue Barkley as a superior player. His verdict? In a vacuum, we believe Barkley is better. Maybe the playoffs will change that view, a quality player and a quality guy. Before anyone wastes lunch thinking about Barkley potentially wearing the star on his helmet next season, the Giants could use the franchise again on the running back. In the absence of a multi-year contract signed before the franchise window closes on March 5, it would be a stunning turnaround if the Giants did not use the franchise tag on Barkley this year. It makes sense for the Giants, who at the time of this writing were as of writing, they had $15,110,328 in effective cap space and $22,943,875 in total cap space, tie $12,419 in cap space. The estimated cost of the 2024 franchise tender for running backs on Barkley? Not exactly. While the Giants last year, they were content to sit back and absorb the cost of Barkley's franchise, this year things are very different. For one thing, last year the Giants were coming off a successful season that saw them return to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. This year, however, the Giants finished with a disappointing 6-11 record that openly exposed some holes in the roster. This must be resolved if this team wants to enter the postseason discussion next year. And given the issue of cap space, yes, more can and will be created, but we digress. Given the current circumstances, the Giants need to be much more prudent with their financial resources and how they allocate them. The most likely scenario is that the tag will be used to buy more time if no agreement is reached within the tagging deadline. However, at some point, such as before the draft, if no progress is made between Barkley and the Giants on a new deal, the Giants would be wise to explore a trade for the running back, who still has some quality football left. Your legs. If a tag and trade were to happen, Steelers fans who dream of Barkley gracing the star with his presence might want to start dreaming about something else. That's unless the Steelers, who, by the way, currently have an even worse cap situation than the Giants. Steelers are in the red in both effective cap space, $21,194,322, and cap space total, $16,091,660. We're willing to raise a small king's ransom in a tag and trade scenario to help them free up the money they would need to potentially put Barkley under his cap. And you fan, what do you think of the Saquon Barkley situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.